Good morning, guys, and God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me in another video. Today's video is going to be one of those where we're going to be working on this Toyota Corolla. This brand, I own Toyota, but when it comes to like the Toyota Corollas or the Camrys, I have to be honest, I hate them. Probably one of the worst interior materials you can buy out of these two models. I'm gonna show you how this thing looks, and man, it looks really rough. So what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of getting all organized and everything before I start on this project. All right, so some of the products we're going to be using today is we're going to be using the Max Shine all-in-one kit with the Max Shine sprayer. We're also going to be using their glass cleaner. At the very end, we're going to be using their wheel and tire cleaner, their soap, their towel. If you missed the news, I have been blessed with an amazing opportunity that what you guys are going to see today is actually the Serranos mobile kit. So you can use this for interiors. Obviously, we're going to be using different products, but that's what we're going to be starting with, different style of brushes. And right now I'm just kind of getting all organized before we start, because as you guys saw, this project is going to be a bit extensive. So let me get all this stuff turned on, set up, and we'll begin on the fun stuff. So we're gonna begin this project with drill brushing everything, especially when you're working on a Toyota product. The carpet, it's very thin, it's crappy. So we're using, this one's a cone, like a cone style, like the toilet brush. And I like this one better because this little corner here, once you use it a lot, it creates like a nice little like circle to where you can get the edges of the corner much better. So we're gonna drill brush everything, the seats, because these need it. Now that we've gone ahead and pretty much drill brushed all the fibers, the mats, the carpets, the seats, now we're gonna blow everything. This does get messy, so I know some detailers don't like to get dirty. So if you wanna vacuum, then vacuum. All right, and next we are going to do the vacuuming. Always use your customer's mats. I always use them as my, just like for my knees, right? If you can, just put one on the floor. For this next scenario, guys, I know a lot of people tend to kind of get mad at me every time I say it, but stop using those thin vacuums. That is just wasting your time. I can't stress that enough. Get you one of these, or the one that comes kind of like that is the For Real Pro 2. And the reason you want these, because you have a wider entrance. So every swipe you're doing on that carpet, guess what? You're vacuuming more stuff. You're covering more surface. With that little rigid, that's crap. I can't stress that enough. I get frustrated. I know people think I overdo it, but that thing is like maybe this big of an entrance. Like, no. And then you're sitting there over every area, and that's what makes it longer. So if you can, and if you can afford it, either get you this long one, I'll post a link on this one, it's on Amazon, or get you the For Real Pro 2. And obviously the For Real Pro 2 already comes with this one. So you can use it for pet hair removal. You can even use it for vacuuming, guys. Stop using those crappy thin ones. I know some teachers say it's the best. I don't think so. You're just doing more work. You're trying to eliminate your time. So get you something a little bit wider, and it's gonna be even better. All right, it is now time to start cleaning this interior. So I always start on my driver's side. That's just the way I was taught at the car wash, and I always pretty much been doing that same process all the time. Things I recommend you do is one, roll your windows down. Two is when it's time to start cleaning your interior, obviously the tools you want to have is a vortex air tool, a steamer, a set of brushes, your cleaner. That way, you know, you have everything set. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spray our product on the dashboard, and this is actually diluted 1-to-1. And then what I'll do is I'll spray the steering wheel. And one of the reasons I turn the car on is so that I can have this range of motion on to clean it around. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of brush everything here. I have my Ninja scrub. Oh my God, I got it right here. So we're gonna use a scrub pad, which is much better, works much more efficiently. So by doing that, it's gonna cut your time in half. When you use something like that, it's better, right? And then next thing I'll do is I'll spray my brush, and then I'll just kind of start scrubbing all the vents really good. I'll brush all these little screws in here, and then I'll kind of reach into the steering wheel, and there's this little curve right in here. So I always agitate that. Scrub your steering wheel as best as you can. And then usually what I'll do is I'll grab my towel, and then I will just start kind of wiping it down before I do anything else. We're using the Aqua Pro steamer. And a steamer, really the job is going to do is just remove a lot of the grime. But always be very cautious when using the steamer, because you can get burned and it will hurt. So if you want to use pants, I highly recommend you do that. Now we're just gonna blow everything. I love using my steamer really from beginning to end, is because it's going to help with the cleaning process, making it easier, of course. But one of the main reasons is because it helps me with the extraction process. Right over here, you see these three, let me see, that looks a little bit better. These three areas here, that is kind of like something that's stuck on here. So what I tend to do is always just kind of steam those off, or at least start getting them loose. So when I steam, when I do my extraction, I don't have to try to agitate over and over again. And then all we do is just blow it off. One of my main tips for a lot of people, maybe if you're just starting, is you have to train yourself to tell your mind what is the main concern, or what is the main concentration where you have to spend all your energy, if that makes sense, right? In this vehicle, a lot of my energy is going to go on the seats. The seats are horrible, and I'll be very honest, anybody can clean these door panels really well, but our main concentration today is actually the seats. So I tell this to a lot of people: don't waste all your energy on this door. Waste your energy, or use up as much of your energy on the main issue. And in this car, it is definitely the seat. So for today's product choice, we are going to go with Flex BioBrake as our pre-spray, and we're gonna go with Flex Fire in our extractor. This combination here is perfect when you're dealing with this type of upholstery that is very stained. Obviously, I know you're supposed to pair Flex Fire with citrus, but I ran out of citrus, so we're gonna go with Flex BioBrake. BioBrake is amazing because it's gonna break. This one has enzymes, so any milk stains, anything in that area, it's gonna dissolve it pretty well. The Flex Fire is pretty much gonna be like our neutralizer on steroids, right? That's kind of the way I see it. Obviously, you always want to dilute it correctly. Too much of this product can cause more of like a buildup, if that makes sense, right? So usually, obviously, I think this is a 10-gallon extractor. I have a big extractor, right? So when I fill it up to the top, I usually do about half a scoop to that whole thing. I'm sure probably dilution ain't even correctly, but I tend to use less because I would rather want the pre-spray to do the work than a lot of the Flex Fire, if that makes sense. So we're gonna fill our Marelix sprayer, and we're gonna do our pre-spray heavily, and then we're gonna pour our Flex Fire into our extractor. Yeah, so we've gone ahead and done the pre-spray. Now it's time for the agitation phase. We're using the Milwaukee drill brush with just like a medium bristle brush. And then all we're doing is just agitating this seat really well as best as we can. Now, no matter what product we're using, the outcome is truly dependent on how much they've taken care of this car. All right, so we've gone ahead and done the driver's side, the rear, and I always go from the driver's side all the way around to the passenger side. So before I do this front passenger seat, I want to start on the back. So I always start from the back and then work my way to the front because I still got to clean the back of these seats. If I clean this, and it's like I'm going to get it dirty again. So I always go from just rear, just from driver's side, work my way around to the front. Another thing I recommend that you do is when working on this style of upholstery, a towel is always best. So I usually keep all these drying towels. After I finish extracting, what I will do is I will bring this towel and throw it right in this groove right here. What that's gonna do is, as this seat is kind of drying, obviously everything is coming down in a way, it's gonna grab onto the towel and it'll help it from staining your seat. Obviously we're using the Flex Fire. It works as a neutralizer as well, so that's gonna help it from having a lot of winking or staining coming back. And for those who do YouTube or tend to record a lot of your content, try to get you guys one of these umbrellas. These are for the, I think, like strollers. But I found this one and I ended up just using it for my tripod. So a lot of the times I have my camera on here, and now that the sun is sometimes overheats my phone, with this it has truly helped. All right, so after the extraction and everything is done, I usually give my plastics one last wipe down because a lot of the times when you're extracting, obviously you're going to splatter the product all over the plastics. So I tend to always just give it one final wipe down before I do the conditioning. All right, so we are to the conditioning stage. For that, we're using Lux Cockpit Conditioner by Drive Auto Appearance. You guys already know that's my favorite one. We're pairing it with a Harbor Freight Central Pneumatic sprayer. I know some people don't like that, but using this, or they say it's not good, but it cuts my time in half. As far as the interior, this one definitely was a drastic change. For the upholstery, we use the Flex Fire. In the extractor, we use Flex Bio Brake for the pre-spray. Because of the condition the upholstery was, we ended up doing 2 scoops just so it could be a little bit heavier and it could really loosen up a lot of the staining, right? Obviously, my extractor is heated, so we use heating elements to really melt down a lot of this staining. To clean all the plastics and everything like that, we used the Serranos mobile kit, which was the Max Shine all-in-one with their Max Shine sprayer as well, which you can get that at the Max Shine website. I'll be posting a link to that, guys. That's a limited time deal. I did a video on all the products yesterday, so if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. But again, it's super exciting to kind of partner up with Max Shine, which again, shout out to Max Shine. Thank you so much for your support. For the conditioning, we obviously use the Drive Auto Appearance Luxe Cockpit Conditioner, which is by far my favorite, and we also use their tire dressing for the tires. A lot of people inbox me and ask, hey Carlos, how come you didn't put a conditioner and a tire dressing in your kit? That would have been perfect. The reason I didn't do that is because every detailer has a different preference on their conditioner for the interior and their tires, right? So that I kind of put it out because we all have different preferences, right? So that's one of the reasons why I didn't include that in my kit. Maybe in a future kit I might do that, but for this kit it was strictly more of a good cleaner and a good exterior washing product. So on the exterior, obviously we use the Max Shine soap as well as their wash mitt and their towel as well, which is all part of the Serranos mobile kit. But overall, this project took, I think, about like 3 hours total, maybe 4. But from beginning to end, it was definitely one of those projects that you have to take your time. If you've never done a lot of interiors and you see a car like this, the first thing that your mind is going to say is, oh my God, right? And what are you going to do? You're going to try speeding up the process, right? When you're working on a vehicle like this, especially Toyota products, take your time, guys. The more, even if you have to be there for 5-6 hours, you have to take your time, because if you don't take your time, especially on Toyotas, what tends to happen is all the staining will come back, right? But again, if you use quality products like the Flex product line, you won't have a lot of that, what is it called, winking, or where the stains come back. But using quality products is going to help you tremendously. Again, I hope today's video kind of showcased a little bit on how I do on working on this type of vehicles and materials. So as always, guys, God bless you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.